Welcome to the No Name Music Cast. To follow us on Instagram, go to No Name Music Cast Podcast. To send us an email, it's nonamemusiccast@gmail.com. And to visit our website, go to nonamemusiccast.com. Now, on with the show. Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to the No Name Music Cast. My name's Tim, and this is
Joy.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are recording on the last recording of 2025. Now, you will probably get this episode probably sometime in January, but let it be known, this was the last time Joy and I recorded in 2025. Any episodes you hear after this would be recorded in the new year.
You know, I hadn't thought about that till you said it, but this is true.
Yeah, we often take some time off over like Christmas or summer and stuff like that. We stockpile a lot of episodes for you. So, you know, service is never interrupted in the world of the No Name Music Cast.
This is true. Tim usually has some family coming. Joy's doing some career transitions. And so there's a lot happening for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I just have one music news item here at the top of the episode. And it's very, very sad news. Like today we learned that sadly, Rob Reiner, the director of This Is Spinal Tap, was murdered in his house. Now, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of it, because if you want to learn about that, you can pull up any news website, and you would know all about it by now.
Yeah,
but I just wanted to focus on my favorite work of his, and that would be the 1984 film This Is Spinal Tap. Now, have you ever seen that film?
I have absolutely seen This Is Spinal Tap. But my favorite is probably, he's from The Princess Bride. I love The Princess Bride. He was the producer of that, or director of that as well.
Yeah, I've never seen The Princess Bride. People have told me I should see it because it has Andre the Giant in it, but I have never seen it. My Rob Reiner fandom is purely This Is Spinal Tap. Now, the thing is about This Is Spinal Tap, it's a timeless work. You could watch that in the 80s, you can watch it today, and every single scene in that, if you're somehow involved with music, you can see something that's happened to you. You know, it's so true to life, even to this day.
Yes, and it's a mockumentary, I guess is the term you would use for it. So it's like a documentary, but it's a mockumentary. And of course, you've got 80s hair band, Tim's favorite, and Spinal Tap's a great name of a band, really.
You know why they're called Spinal Tap?
Why?
Because it is apparently one of the most painful procedures anyone can go under, because it's not generally done under anesthetic, and it is incredibly painful. So that was why the band was called Spinal Tap.
I think my dad's actually had one of those.
Yeah, or a lumbar
terrible.
Puncture, as it's sometimes called.
I don't need anything near my back with needles. I'll be fine.
No.
But with that being said, it is a great movie. If you love like funny satire and 80s hair band, I would definitely say go watch it. And it's very sad to hear what happened to him and his family members. Obviously, anyone out there can give it a goog. Yeah, it's a sad situation.
Absolutely. Rock in peace, sir. You know, I will always cherish Spinal Tap. I mean, almost every scene in it, you know, you would have heard the expression goes up to 11. It comes from Spinal Tap. And the other thing with Spinal Tap, there wasn't really a script. There was just like situations that they had. Yeah. And then the film was built in the edit. And it's like, really, there was no dialogue worked out beforehand. They were just all being in character. Okay, and you're now arguing with so-and-so in the studio, and go. And then they just, from the edit, built the film. And it's such an amazing film. I highly recommend you honor the legacy of Rob Reiner to go and watch Spinal Tap. Now, so I haven't seen Spinal Tap 2 yet, and it's probably not very good from what I've heard, and I probably won't get
Did it just come out
that.
like last year or something?
It did, but I don't know. The original Spinal Tap, 100%. Honor Rob Reiner and go and see it.
I haven't seen anything about Spinal Tap 2, so I'll take your word for it. Now, yeah, it's just funny, straight up sketch comedy. It's what it is, with a lot of just back and forth. So if you're into that, I would totally watch it. Did you have any other music news, or was that it for you, Tim?
That's all I have for this week.
Well, I have to give some more sad music news. I have one sad one good one. Sir Cliff Richard reveals he was diagnosed with prostate cancer today.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Cliff.
Yeah, it just came out today. Basically, it says he is receiving treatment for prostate cancer and has been for the past year. He opened up today on Good Morning Britain that he was diagnosed while undergoing a routine health test. Thankfully, he was getting his routine health test. It seems to have been caught early, but as you know, prostate cancer is one of those ones that can be very serious and it doesn't always end well, even if you find out early. I hate to say that. He said he has been starting his treatments really early and things are going really well for him. So we hope he gets to eat many other sandwiches.
Absolutely. Now, Cliff Richard is 85. Isn't it when you get to a certain age as a man, there's like a 92% chance of you getting prostate cancer?
There is. And my dad is one of the few people who lived through prostate cancer and came out the other side. So, yes, it's very hard. And I mean, he is 85 years old, but hopefully, fingers crossed, he gets taken care of and keeps living at least for a few more years. Obviously, at his age, I don't know how much longer it will be, but we hope it's a little bit longer.
We hope Cliff goes on for at least another 15 years. I mean, he is a legend, an absolute legend, especially in the UK. I said he's known here from known in the United States for like Carrie and Devil Woman, and that's basically about it. But it's said in the UK, legendary name. Probably your mum's music, probably. But I will tell you, Wired for Sound is an amazing song.
Well, I will say the No Name Music Cast has been we are renowned for bringing Cliff Richard to the American populace who listens to our podcast since comes up about maybe once every 3 episodes and about a sandwich.
Yeah, the Cliff Richard sandwich is legendary.
I still crack up when Saz wrote me that day and she was like, I had never seen the sandwich until you said it, Joy. Now I can't unsee it. I was like, who does that? So anyway, if that sandwich should survive, he's got this, I promise you. All right, now I want to bring this up because Tim has talked about this before, and I am one of those people who does believe, and this is just a personal belief, I struggle with the idea that a billionaire can be ethical. I really do, but I want to give this person some credit. It is once again Taylor Swift, and we talked about where she gave all the bonuses to her truck drivers last year, or 2023 or whatever it was. She gave like $100,000 bonus to each of her truck drivers, and then her crew got like $55 million. Well, she did it again. This year, the 36-year-old megastar was reported by People to have generously given everyone involved in her record-breaking concert tour, the Eras Tour, a share of $197 million to thank them for their part in making 149 shows. Now, they didn't give specifics, but in an episode of there's something called The End of an Era right now on Disney Plus. This is an example. Basically, Taylor wrote her team a little letter. It says, bonus day is so important because setting a precedent with the Eras Tour is so important to me. This is people who were on the road. Because of the people who are on the road, if the tour grosses more, they get more. So what it sounds is they're getting not just a bonus, they're getting a share. So I think it's increasing as she's making money, which is why you're probably not going to get an exact number. There's a clip of the production assistant, Mac Holm, opening his letter and almost passing out. He literally said, I'm going to pass out. She made about $200 billion from her concert tour, for example. And so she gathered her entire entourage around them and then literally reduced them to tears. They don't have an official number yet, but from what I'm gathering is that they're getting some type of share, like percentage, almost like a portfolio type situation. I don't know how that would be set up. I'm not her finance manager, but from what it gathers is they said that it could equal up to $197 million.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic. Like I said, I'm no fan of the music of Taylor Swift. However, everything I hear about her tells me that she's a very good person.
Yes, and it was believed for those 50 truck drivers, she shelled out $5 million in bonuses. And then for her crew, it was $55 million that year.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic.
And I love the concept of giving them a share. So the more, and this is not to... And this is the HR person in me, because then it motivates your crew and your staff to want to do better, to be better, because they're making, like, it's a good thing, but it's also a great business move. It's very smart. I'm just saying, it is very smart.
Yeah, it builds loyalty with the crew. I mean, everything about that is great. I mean, I don't want to be a cynical person here, but I'm going to say this. It's probably very tax efficient for Taylor Swift.
But you don't have to, you could still do it from the good of your heart and
Oh, and I'm
be
sure
smart about the way you're doing it.
I'm sure, absolutely that is her motivation. I'm just saying, from her accountant's perspective, this is probably very tax efficient.
100%. And that's what I was getting at. Say what you want about her. You might not like her music, but she's a smart business person mixed with what seems like a good person. So I
Yeah.
love both those things about her. You can be both. So I just wanted to bring that up because we had talked about it a little bit before. Now, with that being said, it is my turn to do this episode. I did laugh a lot when I was doing this episode, and this came out of the joke we made about Lionel Richie and his rhyming skills. So I went through and I have about 6 different articles of like famous lines with rhyming skills that people have voted on or they find to be the funniest or things of that nature. There is no Lionel Richie on here, though. We're not going to bring that up again. We kind of hit a lot of those last week. But I have 3 different articles that I found. Some of them are Reddit. Some of them is like tone deaf. I don't know. Just different websites that people were voting on. If you guys just heard my phone make a noise, don't make Tim cut that out. It was my fault. I'm putting it on silent now.
Well, I will tell you, Joy, as we record on Zoom, the noise reduction actually took care of that, so you don't even have to worry.
All right, perfect. So this one was the first one, and it did make me laugh. And some of these are pretty familiar with me. There's one on here that I have a feeling Tim is going to tell me is some UK artist by the way they're talking in it that he probably knows. But with that being said, not all of them are just like bad rhyming. Some of them are just bad lyrics. The first one is Metallica, Frantic. My lifestyle determines my death style. Are you familiar with that lyric, Tim?
No, because I love Metallica, but it's sometimes hard to make the lyrics out. It's fair to say. I mean, everyone knows enter light, exit night, but I mean, there's a lot going on with James's lyrics. He writes great lyrics. He tells great stories. He has great scenarios that he describes. But you sometimes have to pull a little book out your CD to find out exactly what it's saying.
I mean, I love this. I mean, it's very, my lifestyle determines my death style. I mean, it's probably not even the worst Metallica lyric, to be honest with you. But I was looking at this song, and to be honest with you, the whole album is, or the whole song is kind of rough. The first lyric is, if I could have my wasted days back, would I use them to get back on track? So, I mean, that in and of itself is where this song is going. And this is like what, early 2000s Metallica? Isn't this later in their catalog, Tim?
I think so. I mean, they're still making music. I mean,
Yeah.
they made that album M72 last year or a year before, which is really good. I really like that. And then Death Magnetic before that. You know, they're still out making great albums for their fans. But I mean, of course, the classics is what everyone wants to hear. And certainly I can tell you, when I was at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg when Metallica played there and they played Enter Sandman, it did actually register on the Richter scale.
I know. And that's what they're famous for. That if you ever look up Virginia Tech, they're famous for putting it on the Richter scale even for the football games when they do the opening. All right. So the next one is, let me pick one this was a band that I think you might know, Tim, and I'm going to assume based off of the way they're talking about this is a UK band. It says ABC. That was then, but this is now. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, ABC. Martin Kemp is the singer, I believe. And they have the song Look of Love. You can't
I've heard that
buy
before.
a cover. You can't buy a lover. Yeah, classic
song.
80s pop band.
Well, this lyric is can't complain, mustn't grumble, help yourself to another apple crumble. I'm just like, I mean, and the fact that she said crumble, I think also was a giveaway that they're probably from the UK and not from America. We don't generally say crumble when we're referring to things like that.
Well, I like apple pie, US apple pie sometimes will have a lattice work on the top.
It's
Whereas
true.
a UK apple crumble will have some kind of like crumbled type thing on the top. I don't know what it is, but it's a crumble. But yeah.
I mean, we have something similar. I have seen it referred to apple crumble. It's just not necessarily a thing that pops up very often.
Yeah, I think there's a Chaz and Dave song that's called Mustn't Grumble that rhymes mustn't grumble with apple crumble. Actually, now I come to think of it.
I wonder if it was making fun of this then. Or no, which would have came first? That probably them, right? Chaz and Dave?
Probably Chaz and Dave, but no, I don't think the Venn diagram of the band ABC and Chaz and Dave cross in any way.
You never know. You never know. All right. Now, this is not a song Tim would know, but it is a song I know. And I just want to see his reaction when I say it because it is the dumbest lyric. I'm just going to say it, it's a dumb lyric. So, Pitbull, give me everything. Me not working hard. Yeah, right. Picture that with a Kodak. Or better yet, go to Times Square and take a picture of me with a Kodak.
I mean, that's like Sammy Hagar rhyming. Only time will tell if we stand the test of time.
I mean, and I can hear this lyric because I will say I like Pitbull. It's one of my guilty pleasures, whatever you want to call them, even though we don't have them. I enjoy a Pitbull song. I do. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't. But it's the dumbest thing ever because it literally just says, "Yeah, right. Picture that with a Kodak," or better yet, go to Times Square and take a picture of me with a Kodak.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'd never even heard of this Pitbull character till about 4 or 5 years ago. I can honestly say I've never heard of one of these Pitbull songs. Now, I'm assuming Pitbull isn't his given name.
No, it is not. To be honest with you, Tim, he is not a singer. He's not really even a rapper. He's just a guy that appears on songs and says verses every once in a while.
Yeah, but that's the Pet Shop Boys did that. They just like talk the way through it. Or even me. I do that in sleepy time readings of songs.
Yeah, I think his is a little different. Just a little bit. He just kind of like appears on different like modern day pop or rap songs. I guess some people might to say he's a rapper, but if you're using the term rap loosely, it's just mostly him talking.
I mean, that's what rap is. It's just fast talking, really.
Yeah, but he's not even doing it fast. He's just talking. Like he doesn't even have the fast part, the rhythm part, the kind of like, you know what I mean, what makes it flow. He's just talking mostly. But I like it.
So basically what you're saying, he's basing his career on the recorded works of William Shatner.
Yes, 100%. That makes sense.
She came from Greece. She had a thirst for knowledge.
Might
You
actually
studied
be
at
it.
St. Martin's College, and I said, I caught her eye.
I'm looking up what his net worth is because like it does say he's technically a rapper, but he's worth $100 million. I gotta give him some credit. If all I have to do is talk on a few songs here and there and become worth $100 million, maybe I'm doing this wrong, Tim.
Well, let me tell you, I've been on and off recording spoken word sleepy time versions of popular classics since at least the Freak Jam and Lockdown. And today, I can exclusively reveal I had almost $100 in my wallet. That's the kind of money you can make.
In 5 years.
Yeah, when I got paid for a gig on Saturday and then I subsequently spent it on something else today.
Anyway, so this one is one Tim will know. It's still a very niche band, very low key. It's the Beatles. I don't know if you've heard of them before.
I mean, the Beatles, they're the band that, yeah, I think they're the band.
I heard about them once.
Yeah, who can say?
Anyway, the Beatles, Don't Pass Me By. And this is the lyric. I'm sorry I doubted you. I was so unfair. You were in a car crash and you lost all your hair. I don't know which Beatle wrote this one, but I generally want to know who wrote this one now.
Well, the only thing I would say, this could be an incredibly dark song because Paul McCartney's mother was killed in a car crash. Maybe she was decapitated or lost her scalp, and it could be a lot darker than you think.
It could be, but it says "Don't Pass Me By," English rock band, country rock song. It was the first solo composition written by Ringo Starr.
Yeah, I want to be under the sea in an octopus's
Should have
garden.
predicted that's who I was going to say. I mean, I guess it could be, but
yeah, it could be really dark. It honestly could be really dark. But at the same time, it could be just Ringo with his peace and love, peace and love. So I don't know.
it does say in the notes here that it could be a vague reference to the Paul is dead conspiracy as well, justifying the song somewhat, but the casual link between unfair doubting someone and them losing their hair in a car crash is a little weird. And just reading it on its cusp, I understand why it's here because it is a very awkward song lyric. But to be fair, when you just take song lyrics in isolation, almost all of them can sound ridiculous, really.
I mean that's true. I mean, some songs are story songs, and each verse, builds
Yeah.
the story. Some songs are just words for the sake of it.
And if you're Lionel Richie, you just made up something that sounds like African tribal music.
Absolutely. But also Michael Jackson does the same.
Yeah.
Simasi Mamasana Makusa, Simasi Mamasana Makusa.
Yeah, I knew that was
As
coming.
referenced by the Blue Man Group on their NPR Tiny Desk concert. And I've may have said this before, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to say it again. Open up your YouTubes, type in NPR Tiny Desk Blue Man Group. It is the best thing ever.
Very good. All right. So we know this one. I know you'll know this one. This is the America, A Horse with No Name. I'm sure you've heard that song. The song
Mm-hmm.
is of, you know what? You probably know what lyric I'm going. On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all the life. There were plants and birds, rocks and things. There were sand and hills and rings.
I mean, it's pretty comprehensive what's going on that journey. The interesting thing about Horse with No Name, apart from the wacky lyrics, is it's recorded with a very unique guitar tuning. And when people try and play it, like in a cover band or just
Hmm.
on acoustic guitar, it never sounds right because the tuning used is unique to that song.
Huh. Is it like secret or is it just nobody's good at it?
No, it's not a secret. You'd have to. I forget how it's tuned, but it's not a standard accepted normal guitar tuning. Whether it's like an open chord or
And
dadgad
nobody
or
knows to do that before they try to play
yeah. I
it.
mean, if you tune it to the right tune, the internet, of course, will tell you how it's tuned.
As I say, I was like, I doubt it's a secret. I just thought it's funny. There were, there were plants, birds, rocks, and things. There were sand and hills and rings. Things and rings. What
Yeah,
rings? What rings does he mean, Tim?
I don't know. Maybe it's like the rings of Saturn or something.
But the song's about America, isn't it? Oh no, I guess the band's America. It
The
never
band's
says
called
it's about
America.
America. It's just about a horse with no name. It felt good to get out of the rain. That's another dumb lyric in that song. But anyway,
So if the horse doesn't have a name, how do you beckon the horse? You just call it horse?
here, come here. I don't know.
Yeah, horse friend, come over here.
Make little clicky noises. I don't know, Tim.
I've never summoned a horse, so I have no idea.
Have you ever rode a horse, Tim?
Um, I think I've most certainly ridden a donkey.
I have rode a horse. I've rode a horse actually more than you probably would think I've rode a horse. I've even rode a horse bareback without a saddle.
Yeah, I've ridden a horse. No, sorry, I've ridden a donkey because I have a photograph of me riding a donkey at Camber Sands as a child. I also either rode an elephant or a camel. I think it was a camel, not an elephant, when I was very much younger at London Zoo, and I'm not proud of that because you shouldn't ride those sort of animals.
I rode an elephant when I was younger at like some zoo sitting, petting, you know what I'm talking about? And I was like, I remember that like I was a little bit older than all the other kids that were riding the elephant.
Hmm.
And I was like, this is so stupid. They were like 6 and I was like 11 or something close to that. You know what I mean? And I was
Hmm.
like, what if I'm too big? And then the guy looked at me and went, to ride an elephant? Yeah. I meant like too old. I don't know why in my 11-year-old brain I thought there was like an age requirement to ride an elephant. Yeah, that was an interesting reaction.
Yeah, the thing is, elephants are so incredibly intelligent. It's
Hmm.
just, yeah, I mean, there's elephant sanctuaries, like the one at
Yeah.
North Carolina Zoo, where they've got like miles and miles and miles to roam, where they rehabilitate elephants that have been, abused and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But like, you shouldn't have elephants in captivity. They are so intelligent,
Yep.
family orientated animals.
I'm actually very anti-zoo. I'm sorry, people who are listening, and any form of like animal captivity, with the exception of there are certain times where an animal needs to be rehabilitated. But I don't like SeaWorld. I don't go to anything like that. I don't like to go involve myself with any of that as an adult. I don't even like petting zoos, to be completely honest with you.
I mean, zoos are fine when they're used as for breeding programs because there's a lot of animals that are just
Yes.
not doing well in the wild,
Like
and
the pygmy
sometimes,
hippos.
yeah, sometimes they have this conservation stuff with breeding programs and stuff in zoos. But yes, your point is valid.
Outside of that, though, I'm not a fan. All right. Now, the pygmy hippos, they've done a good job. And I do like to look at the pictures of them. I will give them that. With that being said, Our next lyric is a band we've talked about plenty of times on this podcast. Tim's talked very at nauseum about some of their music videos and their spacecrafts, I guess. And then this is The Police, and it's Walking on the Moon. Are you familiar with this song, Tim?
100%. And as I've said before, the video for this song bothered me as a child. Stuart Copeland drumming on the engine casings of the rocket at Kennedy Space Center. And I was just concerned that he was somehow damaging this engine casing by drumming on it with his ProMark drumsticks. Now, I've since been to Kennedy Space Center a number of times in Florida.
I've been to Kennedy Space Center, yes.
And those rockets are in a rocket garden. They probably don't have any engines in them. They've been drained. They're probably full of concrete, to be fair. So it doesn't really matter. But it's really
kid
bothered
logic.
me.
It's kid logic. You thought that was going to break. I thought I was too big to ride an elephant. When you're a child, your logic's not quite there. But I just, as soon as this song is, I hope everybody caught my little intro. Tim has said ad nauseum about their music video and their choice of spacecrafts. With that being said, the lyric is, giant steps are what you take, walking on the moon. I hope my legs don't break, walking on the moon. Did you know I said that, Tim? I mean, and it's also just straight up lazy rhyming because they're rhyming moon with moon. But I'm wondering why he thought his legs might break.
I also,
the opposite.
I don't know. Well, mind you, actually, breaking news.
Oh.
I've got the video here. I've just pulled the video up.
Okay.
The rocket in question is a Saturn V rocket. Okay. And it appears to be, and as I'm flicking through here, I don't think it's the one in the rocket garden because it looks like it's on some kind of thing with wheels. So, and it's right by the vehicle assembly building in the Kennedy Space Center. So maybe he's actually drumming on the actual rocket, not necessarily like a prop rocket. I don't know. That's what it certainly looks like. But one of the comments on the YouTube video, it says, what instrument do you play? Sting, bass and vocals. Andy, guitar. Stuart, the Saturn V.
The funny thing is, though, it's probably still not a rocket that was in use. I would imagine it's probably not. All right. So we're going to move on to another. I have like so many articles. There's tons of articles about people who are just laughing at people's ability to rhyme in songs. Now with this one, I couldn't do this one without talking about one of Tim's favorite songs. One of my least favorite artists, Kid Rock, All Summer Long. We were trying different things. We were smoking funny things.
Yeah, this is a line I believe has come up on this podcast many times. Yes. And I've heard other people say about Kid Rock, Mr. Robert Rich's rhyming prowess or lack thereof.
Yes. I just had to put it out there because it was mentioned and we've talked about it before and it's something. It really is something. Now, this is a song I am very familiar with. I could sing this song with my eyes closed and my hands tied behind my back, whatever you want to say. I grew up with this song. I don't know if Tim knows it, but he's probably heard me talk about it. It's Summer Girls by LFO. And
I don't think it doesn't ring a bell.
It's fine. This whole song is full of really dumb lyrics, to be completely honest with you. But these two people picked out my favorite one. There was a good man named Paul Revere. I feel much better, baby, when you're near. And then my favorite, New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. Chinese food makes me sick. And I think it's fly when girls stop by for the summer. That's just a piece of it. The whole song sounds like that, Tim. So I had to put it in there.
Yeah, as I said, not an artist or a song that I'm really super familiar with, to be honest.
Now, this one popped up on every 6 of these. I have 6 different articles right now, Tim, open, so we have plenty to talk about. This specific one is one that seems to resonate with people. It's the song Life by Desiree. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see a ghost. It's a sight that I fear the most. I'd rather have a piece of toast.
Yeah, Life, oh Life. Yes, I remember when this came out. Now, Joy, when did this song come out?
I don't know that answer, but I'll find out for you. Let's see. This might just be a Reddit article I'm looking at. 1998.
Yeah, I remember when this came out. And I remember at the time people talking of this toast line.
Yeah, it was on every single one of the I do remember this because I remember this is the one that's the life of life with the doo doo doo. Like there's a lot of doo doos, like her just singing that over and over and over again. Now Desiree is an interesting artist that I only know of like two or three of her songs. I imagine she was probably more popular in England than in America, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
She's
I mean,
English.
this is probably her main song. She's got that song "Gotta Be" as well. Gotta be this.
That's my
Gotta be.
favorite song by her. Yes.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to Desiree. Is Desiree still out there getting it done?
Let's see. We're going to look at this website that rhymes with encyclopedia or doesn't rhyme with sounds like encyclopedia. Uh, it's English pop recording artist, Feel So High, You Gotta Be Life, as well as a ballad, Kissing You. She was also featured, that one was on that 1996 version of Romeo and Juliet that we've all seen with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, not me, but some people have.
Most people. Oh, she was in a lawsuit. She filed a lawsuit in 2007. She filed a lawsuit against Beyonce, and I'm just going to tell you right now, filing a lawsuit against Beyonce may have been what ended her, but because you're going into dicey territory, claiming that the singer's cover of her "Kissing You," retitled "Still in Love Kissing You," featured on the B-Day album, was released without permission. The case was dismissed, but not before editions of the album featured the song were pulled from sale. That's the last thing that she did was sue Beyonce, apparently.
There we are. Well, good luck to you, Desiree, after your legal wranglings.
I mean, it looks like she kind of won. She got the song pulled, so
There we are. She's probably playing some tour that goes to Butlin's holiday camps or something, together with Go West and Marty Pello or something.
I didn't know this, but it says in 1997, Desiree provided vocals for Steve Woodwin's "Plenty Love" track.
Okay.
2011. And it says the following year, her single "Life" became a #1 hit in Europe, reaching #1 in many countries. And then, of course, it was on the BBC's Radio 6. Listeners' polls declared the best or the best pop single of the year, but the worst lyric in pop music. It's in the Wikipedia article. I'm telling you, it was on every single one of these. Somebody mentioned that Ghosts with Their Toes. I've never even paid attention to that before. I've never paid attention to that lyric. Not once in my life does it even ring a bell. But apparently everybody but me knows about it. Who knew? All right. So now someone's got to say, I don't know how I feel about this one, but it is kind of a funny lyric. And I wanted to put it out. This one popped up a few different times. It's Alice Cooper, "School's Out." And they're talking about we got no class, we got no principles, we got no innocent. And somebody's like, he literally could not think of one word that rhymed in this entire lyric. And it really doesn't, I don't think Alice Cooper rhymes very much in general, though.
No, but the best bit about this song is the line that comes after that. It says, "We don't even know what the words are," or something like that.
Oh, maybe that's why they put dot, dot, dot. Maybe that's the joke. I don't even remember what the lyric is. Let's see. "School's Out." I'll read it to you. Alice Cooper. So I was like, I don't think it's that bad. But then I was like, let's see what it says. We got no class, we got no principles, and we got no intelligent. We couldn't even think of a word that rhymes well.
Yeah.
That must be the joke. They just put dot, dot, dot on Reddit. That's even funnier, though. I missed the joke. I'm glad Tim knew it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen Alice Cooper. He came to the Salem Civic Center, and I'm a hits fan of Alice Cooper, like "Feed My Frankenstein" or like "Poison," "School's Out," and I think that's probably it. I mean, I've got his entire discography in my digital collection, and I don't know. I don't think there's enough strong songs for me to warrant paying to see Alice Cooper. That said, his stage show apparently is absolutely superb.
I mean, I want to go see him live for sure. I can imagine he puts on a good show. I can't say he wouldn't, but I'm not a huge, I would say I'm a super fan by any stretch. But I listen to some of his music.
Yeah, maybe if he comes round to the Salem Civic Center again, I will go. Now, Joy, I do have a question for you, slightly off topic, but on the topic of seeing Alice Cooper at the Civic Center. Do you have any gigs booked thus far for 2026?
I do not.
You don't have any
I don't
concert
have any.
tickets.
I don't. Or is there a specific concert you think I should be looking into?
Well, I can tell you, I have two sets of concert tickets already booked. One, as I've probably said, is
Now I
Boy
need to get
George
to.
and Culture Club
Oh, that sounds so good, though.
at
I
the
might have to look into that
Pantheon
one.
at Caesar's Palace, Danville, Virginia.
Yeah.
And then I also have later on in the year Black Label Society, which is Zach Wild's metal band, supported by his other band that's called Zach Sabbath, doing Black Sabbath songs. And that's at the
That's
Salem
funny.
Civic Center. And I don't know, there's kind of sort of a polar opposite of those two acts.
It really is, though. The Culture Club one, though, I might have to look into because that would be what I'd really love to see. I don't know why. I haven't really looked very far into it recently. Probably, as we've talked about it nauseum on this podcast, that it's hard for us to find a lot of good shows relatively close to us. We live in kind of a hit or miss area for really good shows.
That's true. I mean, typically your McCartneys, your Taylor Swifts, and your Foo Fighters don't come to this area. That's why it's such an anomaly when Metallica came to Lane Stadium, Blacksburg. But I will say the Roanoke Civic Center. I mean, this means nothing to people who don't live in this area, but I'm just going to say it anyway. The Roanoke Civic Center, which is a great facility, it's like almost like an arena, maybe the size of Wembley type thing, and it has the Performing Arts Center, which is a much smaller theater. That thing sits empty 95% of the time. Nothing happens there, and occasionally you
It's
get a gig that comes through. But the Salem Civic Center, which is before you get to Roanoke, if you're coming from our neck of the woods, which is an old crumbling facility, it's fair to say, that I may or may not have seen monster trucks in. I've actually played in there. I played a gig in there with Flager Hill one time. Whoever is booking their bands at this point, they are doing such a good job. I mean, like
that's
they
good.
names that are coming into that. It's like Weird Al is playing there next year.
Yes, that was one that Charlie was looking at because he wanted to go. You reminded me I need to go look up Weird Al. We had discussed it once or twice and then it went out of my brain. That's like one of Charlie's dreams because, he's a huge Weird Al fan. So,
I thought you said he'd seen Weird Al.
no, he kept saying he wanted to and then he would look into the tickets and then he'd never buy them. It was like I'm thinking about it. I want to do it. And then he never made I'm just going to buy them for him, Tim. I'm just going to have to buy them for them. And maybe we do have Christmas coming.
Well, that is very true. I can tell you when it is, Joy. I mean, this is sort of podcast fodder, but I'm going to tell you now. Salem Civic Center, Weird Al Yankovic's Bigger and Weirder 2026 tour. Special guest Puddles Pity Party.
Is
It's
that the clown?
Probably
Okay.
October the 7th.
October 7th. All right. We will stay tuned because that might be Charlie's Christmas present. He doesn't listen to the podcast before it comes out in January. So no worries on him getting a spoiler with this one. But
Well,
that's a good idea.
by the time this comes out, Christmas will have been and gone. So
Exactly.
you
I
can say
think,
anything you like about Christmas gifts for Charlie right now, and it doesn't matter.
I think Puddles is that clown. It's like a clown thing. I've seen him before.
Yeah,
He does like music.
yeah. I think Puddle's Pity Party once played at the Harvester in Rocky Mount.
I'll take your word for it. Anyway, with that being said, now that we got Christmas gifts potentials out of the way, because I've been thinking about that, and the only thing Charlie seems to want for Christmas is gloves, and he's already told two other people he wants gloves, so I have a feeling he's going to end up with two pairs of gloves. So I'm kind of at a loss over here. With that being said, back to the topic. This is interesting. Not that I think it's a strange lyric, but I didn't know that there was a change in the song, and Tim might have known this because this was a band he's familiar with. It's Black Sabbath's War Pigs, and generals gather in their masses just like witches at black masses. Apparently, the original lyric was witches gather at black masses, bodies burning in red ashes,
Yeah,
and they made them change it.
Who, the record company made him change it?
Yeah, there's some. They didn't like the way the imagery connected some bad things. If you listen to it, like if you thought about it too much. But I didn't know that.
There we go.
But I mean, the whole song is already kind of not exactly a positive song. So I don't know why it was that lyric specifically. But yeah, witches gather at black masses, bodies burning in red ashes. That was the connotation. I don't know. I don't think it's that different than the original lyric, but to each their
No,
own.
but you're looking at those lyrics with 2025 eyes, where you're desensitized to some degree with with music lyrics because the guardrails are off, as we
That's
said.
true.
There was a time when the only way that you get your music out there is playing it on the radio, and if the BBC decided it wasn't any good, no one would ever hear it. But now you can put anything you want up and say anything you like, and it doesn't really matter. So you're looking at it with very different eyes now.
That's true. And as we talked about on, I don't know what episode, but we went into at length about how they had like a whole group of people in England that like their whole job was to just analyze music on what was appropriate and what wasn't. And this was like their job. This was their day job. What was that committee called, Tim? You told me once before.
Was it with Tipper Gore and all that stuff?
Yeah, you talked about it a little bit, but they're like they would like read lyrics and decide what was appropriate and what wasn't to go out on the radio.
Yeah, and that's where that parental guidance explicit content sticker comes from. That parents against things that were going to corrupt children or something.
Something. Well, the tables have turned. With that being said, my next song, that was kind of a lead into the next song. So it's Bob Dylan's The Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll. And the lyric is, never sat once at the head of the table, didn't even talk to the people at the table who just cleaned up all the food from the table. What a lyric. And Bob Dylan is so interesting because, to be honest with you, he's definitely more of a songwriter than he is a musician in my book. Sorry. I don't know musician, but singer. Let's say singer. I don't find him to be a singer.
The thing is with Bob Dylan, he writes amazing songs. His music has been covered by absolutely everybody. And he's not the greatest singer in the world. But I mean, he's Bob Dylan enough to be Bob Dylan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it fits. I'm just saying I'm not going to go to his concert this year, Tim. I'm not going to his concert.
I mean, he came to the Roanoke Civic Center, and I contemplated it because it was Bob Dylan, but he doesn't play guitar anymore. He only plays keyboards, and there's something weird about you have to check your phones, and there's that.
Oh, he's one of those people. I've heard of a lot more people doing this. This lyric is one that I've heard this song a million times, and I don't remember it being in here. I'll see if Tim remembers it because you'll know this song. It's Rhythm is a Dancer is the song by the German group Snap. I'm as serious as cancer when I say rhythm is a dancer. I don't remember that being in that song.
That is 100% in that song. At the time, it would have just been like whatever. But now I think I don't want to hear those kind of words in a pop song.
I gotta look up the lyrics because I have heard that song probably. I guess I'm as serious. If you got a groove, don't you get the rhythm's gonna flow? I'm as serious as cancer when I say rhythm is a dancer. That was been in that song that entire time. I've never once noticed that lyric, Tim. Not once.
Nope, I've 100% heard it in that song.
Okay, well, I guess I learned something new. Because, I mean, that's a song. I mean, is there anybody who's never heard the song Rhythm is a Dancer? It was everywhere. It still plays on the radio to this day. You could probably turn on 99.1 and Rhythm is a Dancer is playing.
I mean, I like The Power over Rhythm is a Dancer.
Same. But I still think it's a song everybody generally knows. I can't think of anyone out there who doesn't know Rhythm is a Dancer.
I don't know. If I ask the people who work at a certain part of the organization I work for in their 20s, they probably have never heard it.
That's true. So this is not necessarily, I don't even know what to think about this, but it does bleed into some of me and Tim's thoughts about this band as a whole. The song is Nirvana. The song is Nirvana. The band is Nirvana. The song is Breed. I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. Mind. I don't mind. Oh, I don't have a mind. That's the last lyric. That's the whole lyric, Tim. I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. Mind. I don't have a mind.
Yeah, I think I read something recently where Kurt Cobain said you shouldn't. Well, obviously he's no longer with us, but in an interview he said you really shouldn't read too much into my lyrics.
I've heard him say that before, and sometimes he said a lot of it is just nonsense. He straight up was just like it was nonsense.
Yeah.
I have to throw this one in here because I kept seeing it pop up, and there's a personal joke between me and Tim with this one, and I just find it funny. This is Foreigner, hot blooded. That's why I'm hot blooded. Check it to see. I've got a fever of 103. Come on, baby, do you do more dance? So pre-COVID, me and Tim may have a like literally right before lockdown. We may have been in a school bus together.
So the organization that we worked for, we was making some kind of training video type thing. And I excused myself for the day to go out with Joy doing this. And we was in a vehicle that was supplied by the organization we worked for.
Of course, we had to play music.
Yeah, so I brought a guitar with me, obviously. So we're driving between these various locations,
singing at the top of my lungs.
Yeah, hot blooded. And then literally that day or the next day, there was start of the lockdown.
It was that day. We went to lunch together, and all the managers at the table start getting phone calls.
Yes. I was like, we need to go back to the office.
We're slowly just going to go just finish your food and walk back. And I mean, of all the things you could be doing the day before the COVID lockdown, we're on a little short bus sitting side by side screaming out lyrics. And of all the lyrics we sang, I've got a fever of 103. I couldn't write that if I tried. I still laugh about it to this day. I don't know if that training video ever got put out. Did it, Tim?
No, it was a grand project at the time, and then it just completely got killed by the COVID. I've seen, as they call the rushes of it, the footage that was shot, but no, it never came out.
I remember Ross or you or somebody sending me, like you said, the rushes of it and watching it. And I remember back just reading, and like literally the last song we sang was I've Got a Fever of 100. We can laugh about it now. At the time, we were like, oh, that's a little, we shouldn't have done that.
Well,
we didn't know,
Joy,
though.
the COVID lockdown time was a different time, Joy. Nobody knew what was going on. We was all making it up as we were going along. I mean, in this area, we were nowhere near as locked down as other parts of the world.
It's true. But we did all get sent home from work.
Yeah, but I mean, we got sent home from work, but like all of us like opened our laptops when we got home. So it was not.
Yeah, it was not that big a deal. Now, I just still think that's hilarious when I think back to it. But anyway, all right. This one is one that, I mean, this is a band that I don't care for. Tim, you've pretty much said the same on this podcast, but the lyric is kind of funny, and I know you'll know it. It's the Red Hot Chili Peppers' Snow. It's that, hey-oh, when I say, oh, I got your hey-oh. Now listen when I say, oh.
I mean, it's hardly Let It Be, is it?
It's something. They might have should have just let it be. I don't know what it is about the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I just can't get into them. I can't.
No, they have one good song, Give It Away, which is a really, really good song. And that's basically it. Just maybe Under the Bridge is all right. Californication, maybe. But I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I mean, everyone tells me what an amazing bass player Flea is, but I don't get that either. I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah, I just don't know. There's just something about them. They feel like I've talked about every one of their songs, and every time I hear them, it feels like album falter or like just like songs to fill an album track, but nothing sticks out to me. Mm-hmm. That's the way I feel about the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And that's kind of how I feel about Nirvana, give or take a few songs. The internet is going to come for me by saying that. But for some reason, there's certain artists that like, besides like Tim said, I mean, Californication's pretty good. And I like their version of Roller Coaster, the Ohio Players. That's pretty much the only other songs from them that I truly care for and or like. Now, with that being said, get off of that before somebody comes and yells at us, because we probably have somebody out there screaming, I love them. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it literally is to me that every single one of their songs sounds like it's just album tracks with like nothing that sticks out.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's just album filler. I mean, outside of those songs I mentioned, that it just, I don't know. It's not something I particularly enjoy. Now, if you like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, you enjoy that.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's people I like that you probably. I mean, I just said earlier I like Pitbull. He's not even singing. He's not even rapping. He's just speaking and making money.
I like the musical stylings of David Hasselhoff, and not even in an ironic manner.
It's true. He does. I've heard him say that many times on this podcast. If you've listened.
It's me and a small amount of people in Germany that's keeping that dream alive.
It's true. It's true. All right. I don't know this song at all. I do know this artist, but only from one, two songs, maybe. Tim, you're not going to know this either, but I did think this was funny. It's I Love You by Vanilla Ice. I didn't know he had a song called I Love You Till Now.
No, I mean he is the Ice Baby Man, and I don't know if there was anything else he ever did after that that even charted.
I have no idea. He's the guy that my dad met in a gas station, as I told you guys, once for truck stop, and he asked him if he knew who he was, and my dad said no.
Isn't it Eric Von Winkle or something?
Yes.
Von Winkle is Vanilla
Van
Ice.
Winkle. I think it's Van Winkle now.
Van Winkle. Is it Eric Van Winkle?
Let's see here. Vanilla Ice, real name. Robert Matthew Van Winkle.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Robert. He's a construction worker now. I always. Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
I was going to say there's nothing wrong with being a construction worker. That is good, honest work, and it pays really
yeah.
well. And I mean, to be honest with you, he's probably making better money being a construction worker than he did ripping off Queens Under Pressure.
I was going to say he's probably better at it.
I mean, maybe. As they say, maybe he's successful on the tools.
We never know. But I think he's a construction member. I always think of him, and this is a very niche. Oh, the lyric was, I already lost the lyric because we started talking. Where'd you go, Vanilla Ice? I got to scroll back to him. Girl, I keep thinking of how I feel. I'm in your arm. When I'm in your arms, it gives me a chill.
There we are. That doesn't quite rhyme, Mr. Van Winkle.
And someone says he says it like, so girl, I keep thinking of how I feel. And then he says, when I'm in your arms, it gives me a chill. That's how he rhymes it in the song. So I take it
back. Mr. Ice is a lyrical genius.
Oh, yes. Somebody's like, you guys were just insulting the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and now you're calling Vanilla Ice lyrical genius. What is this podcast?
Well, this is the same person who said that I've got tickets for Culture Club and Black Label Society.
It's true. It's true. Now, with that being said, I think of Vanilla Ice, and I've told the story about my dad meeting and didn't know who he was. But then also, I think if it was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle commercial, and it was for Kraft macaroni and cheese in the shape of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
And he was in it. And I don't remember exactly, but he was rapping something about Ninja Turtles. And then I think he was also in a commercial where about double stuffed Oreos. Pretty sure he was in that Oreo commercial, and it was there's a song. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Vanilla Ice.
The thing is, you have to remember is that unless you're a legendary artist, a Paul McCartney, a Taylor Swift, a Foo Fighters, a Police, Bruce Springsteen, you name your legendary artist, you are just a blip in the music radar. You have your 15 minutes of fame, as they say. You maybe have a few hits, and once those hits are done, you are gone. So when you're riding that little crest of a peak that you're making money in, and whoever makes, I don't know, SpaghettiOs wants to use you for their advertising campaign, you have to grab that opportunity and cash in while you can.
Oh, I know, but they made a joke out of one of his songs. I can't remember what it is. That's what I think. Okay, so I found the Kraft macaroni and cheese one. Reviving his cut Ninja Rap. That's the song, apparently.
Oh, everybody loves Ninja Rap. I mean, it's everyone's listening to that.
I don't know why, but when I think of Vanilla Ice, the first thing that I remember is him in the Kraft macaroni and cheese about Ninja Turtle shaped macaroni and cheese. Do they call it Kraft macaroni and cheese in the UK?
No, because macaroni and cheese, certainly growing up, was not a thing. Was really not a thing. It probably is now, as we talk about the proliferation of the internet and stuff like that.
Yeah,
People know what mac and cheese is. And also, one of the big supermarket chains, Asda, they're not anymore, used to be owned by Walmart. So a lot of the US type stuff started making its way into the UK market. But
makes
certainly,
sense.
mac and cheese was not a thing when I was growing up.
I know in Canada like Katie Kraft dinner. Like it's like instead of Kraft macaroni and cheese, it's the same thing pretty much,
Hmm.
give or take, different dyes because of different countries. But they call theirs Katie Kraft dinner. Same thing. I'm
Yeah, I
just
mean,
curious.
I think Kraft was a brand in the UK, but
I'm sure it
as
probably
you know,
was.
Kraft has bought a lot of UK brands up, and everyone complains they don't taste the same.
Fair enough. All right. So speaking of this artist, and Tim, tell me when we're getting close, because I know we're probably getting close to the end of this episode. I talked about Mariah Carey has a grunge album coming out. Tim went, what?
Yes.
So she's on this. I don't think this is from her grunge album. The song is Don't Stop. And I can't say this seriously. It sounds so dumb. I'm sorry. I'm like a bowl of gumbo. You ain't hotter than this. I'm what they play in the clubbo.
Oh, goodness me.
She rhymed gumbo with clubbo. I
I tell
just
you, all the young people, when they're going out on a Friday or a Saturday night, they all go to the clubbo.
clubbo. Like I mean, you couldn't have found a word like a better word for I'm like a bowl of something to rhyme with club. No, you left the gumbo and then added an O to club. Like what? And Mariah probably didn't write this song. She doesn't write. I don't think she writes a lot of her music. I don't know for sure. Don't come for me, internet. She might write some of it, but I think towards the end she wasn't writing all of her albums. Fairly certain she had
I'd be
people writing
surprised
on
if she's
them.
written anything of her music. I
Oh
mean,
no, she definitely did at one point. I think in the early '90s she did, but I think it kind of got lost somewhere, Tim.
there are some people in Sweden that are making that stuff for her.
That's true. What is that guy's name? What's the Swedish guy that did Max Mart? What is that guy's name?
It's
Swedish.
probably Larsson or Ericsson or something.
Hold on. Pop. It's Max Martin. Is that it?
Yeah, that sounds familiar now you mention it.
Yes, Max Martin. He's the Swedish producer who did like Britney Spears. He actually worked with Taylor Swift now. He's still out there doing it. But he was like the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, all them. So I was thinking like early '90s might have been Mariah Carey as well. And he has very long, nice hair. He's also the one that I talked about doesn't like half of them didn't actually know how to play chords or any music whatsoever. They would just fiddle around on the keyboard till they found something they liked and like hoped it sounded good.
I mean, you're describing songwriting in general.
That is true. Generally, most of the people who take that, because anything's a chord, if you make it a chord, you can make up new chords. That's actually true. I didn't, Tim can testify. That's the thing.
That is what
But
I'm saying. It might sound terrible. It might be discordant. It might not be anything you could write a song with. But yes, any collection of notes could be a chord.
if you wanted it to be, so in theory, yes. Oh, this is cool. Did you know Max Martin, the Swedish songwriter and producer, is second only to Paul McCartney for number one singles ever written?
Doesn't surprise me just because of the influence of these Swedish songwriters, producers in pop music.
It's crazy to me though. Like I don't know what they do in Sweden. Well, I do know Tim does make a good point. They're very big into I don't want to say American culture, but they pretty much all speak English without an accent from a very young age.
Yeah,
Is what I've gathered.
English is the de facto second language of Sweden. And the thing that surprises me, and I've been to Sweden many times, the thing that really surprises me is not the fact that everybody speaks perfect English, but what surprises me is if you walk into a town center or a shop or anywhere like that in Sweden, advertising boards, it's very fashionable that slogans are written in English. So, like,
That's
it'll be
weird.
so, like, for example, to use a Swedish brand, there will be a billboard poster for IKEA, and it will say "Summer's here" in English. Very fashionable to do that.
But is the rest of the billboard in Swedish? Is just the tagline, or is the whole thing in English?
I mean, sometimes you'll see it's just like a slogan, but it's not out of the ordinary to see things like that written in English.
Interesting. I mean, I guess it's just really ingrained in their culture. Makes sense why most of them don't have Tim made a point that they speak in very Americanized, almost sounding accents.
It depends. Some Swedes, when speaking English, speak like with an American style accent, and some of them speak more neutral.
Interesting. I have never been to Sweden. Maybe I need to make the trek. Isn't that where Tina Turner lives now?
Well, they have Switzerland, and sadly, T.
Oh
Turner is no
no.
longer with us.
Both those things are not true. I forgot it was Switzerland, not Sweden. Yeah, and obviously she's passed away. But man,
Ex-
maybe I need to go visit Max Martin or whatever his name is and get my next track out.
Stockholm is a very nice city. I've been there.
I imagine it would cost me just over $1.3 billion or something to get a meeting with him. Just probably.
Probably, but you could get a flight for about $700 because I looked into it recently. Because I want to go on the ABBA
Oh,
studio tour.
no, that makes sense because you were talking about that before. And that's another thing is they have all these great bands that come out of Sweden too.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, I tell you what, Joey, we've got time for probably about one more of this lyric-packed episode.
Which was mostly just me saying lyrics and us talking nonsense not related to the lyrics. But it was kind of funny. All right. I'll leave you with a famous one everybody would know, but it is when you read it, it really is kind of silly to read. Whoa, Black Betty, Ramble-am. Whoa, Black Betty. Black Betty had a child. Ramble-am, I can't say it on our podcast, gone wild.
Yeah.
She said, I'm worried out of my mind. The blank gone blind. It's really a weird lyric if you look at it.
As everybody knows, the version of this is not the Ram Jam version. That's not the version you want. You want Tom Jones's version.
Which Tim introduced me to, and it's a little bit of a hot mess. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. A connoisseur would recognize the Tom Jones version as the premiere version of this song.
I mean, if you have to listen to someone say "Ramble-am" about Betty, might
You
as well
typically
be
want
Tom
Tom
Jones.
for that.
All right. Well, with that, what would you like to leave the people with, Tim?
Just be kind to everyone that you meet.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
To